Hello guys, in this video we are testing rocket launchers to see how they stand in the current meta after the latest patch. You can check my other video testing grenade launchers. Now it's time for rockets, but first I need to clarify some things. The testing is meant to give an idea of how much damage they can do now, and I'm testing pretty much base damage. It means absolutely no debuffs on the enemy, and the only buff is boss spec on the rocket and Well of Radiance. And I'm using Lunafaction boots and loaders so I can spend all my ammo in one damage phase. Let's begin. The first rocket we tested was Braytech Osprey, a high impact frame, 15 RPM with impact casing, pulse monitor and lasting impression. And because it's a nightfall weapon, you can farm them, so if you don't have one, you can easily put your hands in one. And we reach 974, almost a million. Not bad, we're gonna see it's not bad. Now it's Palmyra-B with impact casing and explosive light. I remember using it with Izanagi on Rogue, but again, this test is without any sort of rotation. This archetype actually got two buffs, 5% more damage and more ammo reserve, and we got 924. Now guys, let's test Apex Predator. It's gonna be two tests, one with explosive light and one with bait and switch. This one is with explosive light. I actually prefer to use my Apex now with explosive light. Even though it does a little bit less damage, it's so much easier to use, so I prefer it. And we got 851. It's low, but we'll talk about it in the end. Now with bait and switch, I'm just using two primaries to activate bait and switch. I'm trying my best to shoot my rockets while I have bait and switch, and then proc it again. Because we proc it twice, two rockets won't have a damage buff. Bait and switch is now 30%, and we got 862. Now it's time for Royal Entry. My role has lasting impression, auto-loading holster, and I can choose between clown cartridge and lasting impression. In this case, we are testing it with a damage perk, so lasting impression it is. And because it's a precision frame, it has auto striking built in it, so that's actually nice. And we got 901. And by the way, my friend was testing a bump in the night with impact casing and frenzy. There's also the shield clip roll, but it's not that good, so basically don't use bump in the night, guys. It's not very good. Now hothead with explosive light, field prep and impact casing. In this case, field prep will add more bullets, so we will get more damage. It's also a nightfall weapon. I think you can still go to Zavala and get it. It doesn't drop anymore from GMs, but you can get it from Zavala, so it's easy to get. And we got 924. Now it's time for Cold Comfort, the rocket launcher from Ghosts of the Deep. My role is impact casing, invis assassin and explosive light. I'm actually very happy with this role, but we're going to test both, also one with bait and switch. This one got 827, and the next one I don't have that role. I don't have the bait and switch role, so I asked my friend and clanmate if he could test it for us. So there he is, again just shooting two primaries to proc bait and switch, and the damage same rules, only boss spec in a well. And as you can see, it's going to be around the Apex Predator values, so not very good for total damage. Here's his roll, but for burst but we'll talk more. So as you can see, 825, not very good. Now let's test Crux Termination 4. Let's start with one with surrounded. I don't have one with surrounded, so I had to ask a different friend, another clanmate, if he could use his role and show it to us. So that's why he's over there very far, because there's enemies there. It was the safest spot to have surrounded. He shot all his rockets and we got 908 with surrounded. Now, a different Crux Termination with clown cartridge and bipod. So you shoot 3 rockets each time, which is very, very nice. And because of bipod, you have a little bit more ammo. In this one, we'll do 877. So less than surrounded, but not that bad. Another Crux Termination 4, there's a lot of them, with clown cartridge and explosive light. I actually wanted to test it so I can start deleting them now I know which one are the best, guys. And with explosive light, 827, less than with bipod. Now guys, it's time for red herring. I didn't even remember this weapon. I can craft it. Most of you probably can craft it as well. And the role is impact casing, field prep, and lasting impression. I used to hate this rocket launcher, but I gotta say, I was surprised. Like, I was really amazed, because it's the first one in our testing that goes past the 1 million mark. So yeah, let's keep an eye on this one. Now, Semiotician, you can craft this one as well. And we have impact casing, field prep, and bipod. Now, bipod and field prep will give you extra reserves, which is very nice, so you can shoot more rockets. Even though bipod takes 25% damage off your shot, it compensates because it has more shots to shoot. This was the weapon that I had to use loaders so I could shoot all my rockets, otherwise I wouldn't have time. And again, it passed the million mark. It's very, very good. And now, guys, one that you probably have, you can go to into your collections if you have it and get it, ascendancy with impact casing in explosive light. I just wanted to show it to you guys because most people will have it. It's a solar one, but unfortunately it's not that good. So if you have it, you can delete it. Now, exotic rocket launchers. Let's start with Ghorn. Ghorn is a support weapon. It actually got a buff. The reserves one got into Ghorn, so now you shoot more ammo, which is really nice. And damage wise, 757, so it's really, really low. The lowest so far, and it will be the lowest. Two-tail fox, I had to test it, and I was surprised. By the way, there's yellow numbers. I think no one was debuffing the enemy, so it's because of the rocket itself. So we let it be, and I was honestly surprised. Very, very good rocket. It's an exotic and it passed the million mark. Now let's check the one and only Dragon's Breath. This one, it's nice because you can actually use it in a rotation, because it will have auto loading if you wait a little bit, and it does a lot of damage, especially those ignitions, right? And it's not supposed to be shot like this, you know, shot after shot, but it actually surprised me, because even so, it did a lot. 1100, past the 1100 mark. Now it's time for Deathbringer. Now Deathbringer is a little bit hard to test because sometimes it could track to different opponents. They can just go to a different place. Like you can see in the video, some will not track to the boss, but it's very, very good, especially with the volatile build, guys. And there's no enemies around, so it's easier to test, and it did a lot of damage, like literally the most damage. So testing is done, all rockets are done, so let's talk about end results. End results, best legendary rocket right now to do a lot of damage is Semiotician. You can craft it, it's amazing, really, really good. It's a strand one. If you want a void one, red herring, you can craft it. Also will do a lot of damage. But you're probably thinking, whoa, Apex Predator did really, really bad. Well, yes and no. Apex Predator is now meant to be used in rotations because it has reconstruction. Even though it doesn't have that much, let's call it damage reserve, so it doesn't do that much total damage per se, it can still be the very best in a rotation with a Cartesian, with a sniper, something like that. So rotation wise, Apex Predator is very good. If you're going to a DPS phase, you don't want to worry about rotations. You just want to stand in a well, shoot your heavy until you don't have any more bullets, then Semiotician is the play. Exotic wise, Deathbringer was really, really good, but is very tricky, very, very tricky. Ghorn, it's a support weapon. You're not going to be the top DPS scorer, but you're going to support your teammates with Wolfpack rounds. And that's it, guys. That's the video. I hope you like it. I tried to be as fast as I could, and well, that's it. Thanks to my friends that helped me testing all these rocket launchers, and guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya.